Hi everyone, I'm Kayla and today I'm going to be talking about 3 electrolytes that are involved in blood pH. So the first one we have is sodium. And when I think of sodium, I like to think of it being concentrated outside of the cell. So that leads to one major function of it, which is the resting membrane potential. It's concentrated outside of the cell, so when it moves in, it depolarizes it, making the membrane more positive. Also, sodium imbalances are very rare, but an excess of this is called hypernatremia, and it deals with water retention, hypertension, and edema. Hyponatremia is a deficiency of sodium, and it's caused by a large loss of volume in either sweat or urine, and it's replaced by drinking a lot of water. A term I came up with to remember this is don't be bad, too much sodium makes you fat, because excess intake of sodium will make you bloated, as it says. The next electrolyte we have is potassium, and potassium also has a major function in the resting membrane potential like sodium. So like sodium, potassium is concentrated not outside of the cell, but inside of the cell this time. So as you can see, it's inside of the cell and it moves out through the channels, which causes repolarization of the membrane, which is one of its major functions. It's also involved in osmolarity and cell volume too, but the major function is the cell membrane potential. An excess of potassium is hyperkalemia, and it makes nerve and muscle cells abnormally tight, and this can cause cardiac arrest. A deficiency of potassium is called hypokalemia, and this makes nerve and muscle cells less excitable, so does the opposite. It makes it kind of looser and not as tight and contracted. And a term I came up to remember this is that hyper means a lot of, and hyperkalemia has a K in it, so a lot of potassium, and this can be overwhelming and make you tense up, so become contracted. The last electrolyte is calcium. And calcium's major function is that it strengthens your bone as well as your skeleton. A deficiency is called hypocalcemia, and it is where you basically don't have enough calcium, which causes your nervous and your muscular systems to be very excitable and just not really, very weak and brittle, kind of. Excess of calcium is called hypercalcemia, and this causes inhibition of depolarization of your nerve and muscle cells. And a term that kind of helps me remember this is I think of milk. When you drink milk, it strengthens your bones. So if you don't have enough milk, or calcium in this case, then your bones becomes weak and your muscle and your nervous system are kind of not as excitable. That's it for my video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit more about these 3 electrolytes today. Thank you.